Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with a little mini Dougherty Dozen update, and I also wanted to share with you guys 5 things that I'm currently obsessed with. And spoiler alert, Alicia and the Dougherty Dozen are not on my list, but if you're interested in hearing my thoughts, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so first things first, let's touch real quick on something that I came across on Instagram, and that is that Alicia is now offering the subscription to their Instagram. And I've talked about this a lot, especially with influencers like Brianna Kay, Tiffany Beeston, a lot of the other influencers that I talk about. Once the Instagram subscriptions were rolled out, a lot of them just like jumped right on the train because it's a money train, and it's how can we monetize every single platform that we're on? How can we get the most money? Because this is their meal ticket. And it's so funny when people say, oh, get a real job. I have a quote real job that is not YouTube, but if you're doing social media the right way, and if you're not exploiting your kids and oversharing and talking about medical issues and filming other people's children while they're in swimsuits and doing all of this problematic stuff that people don't like, being a content creator or an influencer is a real job. It is very lucrative, and I don't think that it is a quote hard job. Do I think it's time consuming? Yes, but we just had this conversation with the Michaela situation where yes, being an influencer is time consuming, but the amount of work that you put in versus the reward that you get out being your paycheck and all of the free stuff and the brand trips that you can go on, the time spent is absolutely worth the reward that it can pay out. And so I'm not going to ever say that being a content creator or being a YouTuber is not a real job. But I do think that it's really funny when people automatically want to come into my comments and get all over me about, oh, go get a real job, blah, blah, blah. Well, so are you saying that talking on YouTube is not a real job? Because then what is Alicia doing? All she's doing is putting together ketchup sandwiches and exploiting her kids. And it's only when I talk about Alicia that I get comments like that. Because most people realize that if you're doing it the right way, there's no problem with being a full-time YouTuber. But if your content is super toxic, misogynistic, bullying, exploiting children, filming people without their consent so that you get more clicks on your video, all of these kind of sub-genres of what being a bad content creator looks like, those are a problem. But if you're doing it right, there is nothing wrong with saying that you're a full-time content creator, saying that you're a YouTuber, but it just so happens that most of them end up going down this just like greedy, entitled, gross path. And that's why they're common topics on commentary channels like mine. So was I surprised to know that Alicia was rolling out this? No, because she is about those dollars. And I think that her YouTube views are not what they were a couple months ago. A lot of people are checking out. Not everybody wants to see $1,400 to $2,000 grocery hauls when they're sitting there trying to build a budget to try to figure out how they're going to get through the next 4 days of meals for them and their children. That is not what people like to consume on a long-term basis. And I was talking to one of y'all over on Instagram, and she used to be a Dougherty Dozen supporter, and now she's, kind of seen the issues that a lot of people have with Alicia. And I was talking to her and I said, it would be really cool to see Alicia actually turn this thing around before it's too late and share some stuff about herself. Like, why do we know so much about your kids? Tell us about your childhood. Tell us about where you grew up. Tell us about your favorite family traditions, and tell us what your favorite Christmas gift was ever. Tell us about your time in high school or college. Why don't you tell us what medications you're on? Since you want to blast your kids' medical issues all over the place, why don't you go down your medical history? She's going to have to switch up her content a little bit in order to make this a long-term thing, because it's rinse and repeat. And hey, some people might say commentary is rinse and repeat. You're complaining about the same things. That's fine. But guess what? At least I'm not exploiting my kids and being an asshole on the internet. Two more things I want to touch on before I get into my personal obsessions as of right now. First things first, she posted on YouTube about these lockers. She thinks these lockers are noteworthy and just the best thing ever. I think that they come off as sort of institutional, like too much like they're at school, and that's just obviously my kind of take from the outside. But as I said before, the most important thing is that they are not secure. Those lockers could, and I hope they won't, but they very, very well could fall on one of the children, and that would just be an absolute catastrophe. And it's because of her neglect, her rushing the project, her not wanting to spend the extra money or take the extra time to actually do this project the right way so that they're secure for her children. Now, a lot of people in the comments were calling her out. So anyone who wanted to take the side of Alicia and say, oh, she just doesn't know. She doesn't know. Well, I call BS, because number one, she's an adult. Number two, if she didn't know, her husband should know. Third, I know for a fact that she's all over the comments of her YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, because all she does is reply to people all day long. And there were tons of people calling her out and saying, please secure these lockers, please fix these. Don't allow the kids to use them until they're properly installed. So if you want to play naive and your husband wants to play naive, I know you're all over the comments. People were calling you out and you still have not fixed them. And I'm getting kind of tired of this, oh, she doesn't know card that y'all stans want to pull out for Alicia all the time. I don't think that she is as naive as y'all think she is. I think that she's rushing through content so that she can post the next thing. She does not want to edit because that takes up time. She also doesn't want to send uncut video to an outsider, my opinion, allegedly. And she just wants to post as much as she can. So the she doesn't know card doesn't fly with me. And I really hope that those lockers don't fall on one of her children. God help us if there is an accident because of her laziness and her husband's laziness. She will, I'm not even going to say it. Let's just hope that she fixes them before something bad actually happens. Now, thirdly, I can't show you all the video because I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to show any of her kids on my channel. But I want you guys to pay very close attention on her TikToks to, there's a set of twin boys that she has. And one of these boys, as of lately, and I get her TikTok sent to me all the time over on Instagram, how you can save them and send to people. And one of these boys has been looking very, very sad recently. And I know that kids kind of go through different things, you know, they're stressed, they're happy, they're dealing with school, they're trying to deal with siblings and all this kind of stuff. And they're told to smile for the camera every time Alicia is around, which is all the time. But I see the expressions on this kid's face and it almost makes me cry. Because you can tell that she has the other kids trained to the point where when they're doing like roll calls or these little TikToks and stuff that she makes them do, most of them are ready for the camera, but this one, you can tell he's kind of checking out. And it really breaks my heart to see him so unhappy. This child needs some one-on-one time without the camera. And if she wants to do this little mini vlog, make it real short. This child needs one-on-one time, and you can see it all over his face. And I don't give a shit if people get mad at me for having this opinion. I don't care. You can look at him and see that he is unhappy. And like I said, I realize that kids go through different moods and stuff, but this child just looks like he needs some one-on-one attention that doesn't involve a camera lens, a roll call, a Snackerty board, a YouTube live, none of the above. And this is also a child who has shown that he does not always want to be at school. And that's what I will say about that. You can't just make your kids constantly be on. And this is kind of behind the curtain of being a YouTube kid. Kids are not always going to be happy. They're not always going to want to participate in your vlog. And there is a time and a place to get footage for your vlog, and there's a time and a place to not only put your camera away, but put your phone completely away, out of your hand, and spend some one-on-one time with that child. And if there's something extra that he needs, then make sure that you're getting it for him. Because you can just tell that this child is broken. And that's my opinion as a viewer, having seen a lot of her TikToks, a lot of YouTube stuff. I have a very big sore place in my heart for him. And I hope that she can do the right thing. Now, moving on to something a little bit lighthearted, let's talk about my top 5 current obsessions. 3 of them are makeup items, 2 of them are not makeup related, and I'm excited. So, first things first, I picked up the Haus Labs Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter in Peach Quartz, and I'll insert a little close-up. It looks like that, and I will insert, like I said, a better video. Absolutely beautiful. Does not leave a lot of color behind, and I use it with a really fluffy brush, and it just makes the skin look wet, and those are the highlights that I love. I don't like anything metallic. I don't like anything that deposits a lot of color. I just like for it to look dewy, but it's a powder, so I absolutely love it. Fan. Next thing is my e.l.f. Wow Brow. I've been using this for about 3 years now, I think. It's like $5 or $6 at Target. I have so many on backup. This is better than the Glossier Boy Brow, and I fully recommend it. I don't use a pencil or anything like that in my brows. I just don't have the time, energy, or patience for that, so I just run that through my brows. They do have little microfibers, so it can help build up the actual volume of the brow, and they come in a wide range of colors, and it's super affordable. And like I said, I think it's better and easier to use than Boy Brow from Glossier, which is like the cult classic everyone has loved for years. I like the e.l.f. one better. Next thing is my Treat Beauty lip balm. You guys, I've been talking about these for 2 years on my YouTube channel. Her business is a small business. She's over on the West Coast. The owner's name is Marnie, and she is so amazing. She just has a really uplifting personality, and there are so many fun flavors that she comes out with. Some are limited edition, some are permanent. They're really obviously like big lip balms, so one will last a really long time, but you can like bundle them. She also sells them in some Whole Foods locations, so check out their website. They're not super expensive, and one lip balm will literally last you like 6 months, even if you use it every single day. I swear by them, and I love that she's a small business that I can support, and I actually like the product. Okay, next thing is this paperweight from the Finer Company, and it's basically a bunch of, these are like expired over-the-counter pills that she has put in here, and some of them are custom, some of them are just solid color, but this is a 3-inch paperweight, and I absolutely love it. I love her company. I have a bookend, I have a little trinket box, I have a couple of coasters. I just think they look cool. It's a conversation starter, and again, as you guys can tell, I do like to support small businesses when I can, especially if they're offering something that's very unique. I would rather have that than have something that 1,000 people have. And the other thing is actually also from her company, and this is a phone stand. So when I'm sitting here at my desk and I'm either, working or editing, whatever, I will prop my phone up on this little phone stand and it looks cool sitting on my desk. It matches the paperweight. So I will link her Etsy shop down below. Often she will do, like they just did a Labor Day sale, and I also shared that on my Instagram. So sometimes I just like sharing stuff on Instagram. It's really quick. It's not always super thought out, and it's just a quick way to share with you guys kind of like what I'm liking at the moment. So if you're not following me and you want to, same username over on Instagram, go give me a follow, no pressure. But yeah, those are my 5 current obsessions, and as you guys can tell, Alicia and her family were not on there. What a weak argument. The best way I can sum up being on the internet as a commentary channel is, if people like your opinion, they will applaud you. And if they don't like your opinion or they disagree with it, then you are enemy number 1 and you are jealous, obsessed, and just a miserable old bitch. Based on my stance, having done commentary for well over a year now. So either way, you have to just like stand in your position of knowing that you're not being hurtful with your words. And if people disagree, then at least you know that you're not being a jerk. And that's just kind of like how I've spent my time on this platform. It's been quite interesting, but that is a good way to sum it up. So either way, that's going to be it for tonight. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.